Welcome, everyone, and thank you for joining this session, our workshop, or what we are going to do today. We are going to go into the journey of a user or a customer in banking. So we will see what are different pain points, where a customer needs a bank support, or where a bank can proactively help their customer to have a better journey, a better user experience, and what technologies are available right now, and what different things or different functionalities are available, what different products can do, and how to think about a user journey and taking an outside in approach for solving any solution, rather than just thinking about uh, making your applications visible to outside world. You should be thinking a little bit broader and thinking about how it is going to impact your customer. So very briefly, we will see what is banking journey looks like. What are we going to do, and um, where what is basic difference between an API management and an API gateway. Because over my experience for last 8 9 years, every time we start having this conversation about implementing an API, this always comes up, an API gateway or an API management kind of discussion. So we will have a look what's the difference between them, and we will see some real world successful cases, and then we will also see how you can manage those APIs, and what are the things you should consider even before selecting a product or an API management product, and what all functionality it should provide out of the box, and what kind of freedom it should give you to solve and control your API ecosystem. So, next, why are we even talking about it? So what is the different companies or different banks are saying right now? So these are the expert some snippets out of different banking organizations from their annual report. So I'm just going to read little bit, not everything, but just to give you little idea how are banks thinking about. So as you all know, there are a lot of virtual banking banks coming in. So a virtual bank is basically a bank which doesn't have a physical branch. So you download their app, you interact with them over online, you do your transaction interaction, which is giving you better customer experience. And in fact, because of these virtual banks getting out there in the market, they are market disruptors, and they are challenging current incumbent in banking, like big banks, who are not able to change or pivot very quickly and give similar kind of customer experience. It's a digital age, we all know it. So most of the times, whenever you want to interact with someone or some company or some bank, we always look for some automated chatbot, or maybe some online service where we can do a self-service ourselves, rather than going to a bank and asking a cashier or a teller or somebody at the bank to help us out and do our provide some customer service. And what these digital banks are also doing, virtual banks are also doing behind the scenes, they are able to collect a lot of data, and use artificial intelligence, AI and machine learning, and deliver a better differentiated customer experience. And they are able to integrate themselves over the complete customer user journey, and they are able to provide a service where customer doesn't even have to think about banking in their life cycle, or whatever they're trying to implement. And we will see basic customer journey in where I will demo you and show you where banks can come in. And also, a lot of these new channels and mobile applications and are able to open up their infrastructure, or open up their ecosystem to third party services. So you are able to go to these virtual banks or digital banking. If you want to book an Uber, if you want to order some food, you are able to do it from one place. So that is what a good customer service looks like, where customer doesn't even have to think about some security. Because what I mean by security is like, let's say I want to okay, let's say if I wanted to plan and go to Dubai for this API days conference. So there are a lot of things which I need to think about. I need to think about where do I go and book my flight, how do I book a hotel, how do I need insurance, do I need to pay for insurance, what kind of insurance is available, or how do I book a cab or an Ola or Uber, and how do I get from airport to my hotel, or how do I get from my hotel to conference center, or different kind of local visits if I want to go and travel and see Dubai itself. Like where do I go, what do I do, what kind of weather it is, do what kind of clothes should I carry. So there are a lot of things involved here, and as a customer I want all these to be simplified and made it easier, where and also from the bank's perspective, you also want to get involved in all these decisions. Why? Because it will give you much more better capability of controlling the interaction and getting and collecting a lot of data and giving a better customer experience at the first place. As you can see, this whole journey is very scattered, and it's involving a lot of third party system, a lot of banking system, a lot of credit card payments, or a lot of payments which I need to do, and I have to think about, is am I using my credit card at the correct place, is it my secure to use my credit card here, or do I need to worry about some fraud happening, and because of my usage of my credit card. And then also, as a bank, because if I'm not involved in all these touch points which a customer is doing, I'm losing a lot of different transactions where I could have earned some money, or where I could have made some money, or I could have collected some data so that I can give a better experience. Maybe my customer is traveling a lot. Maybe I can offer them a better credit card with more travel features. Or maybe my customer is a foodie or who likes to eat some food at different places. Maybe we can offer them some different kind of vouchers for different third-party providers or vendors who we have already contracted with. Or there could be n number of permutation and combination. And then the most important part is customer retention, or the stickiness of customer to stay with a one banking provider. So as in previous slide we saw that a lot of these digital banks are coming, so and a lot of customers are moving from one bank to another. How do you make sure that your customer is with you? How is it that that customer always chooses your service over someone else? So at the end of the day, everything is a banking, but what is the differentiator? The differentiator is the customer experience, or how easy it is to interact with a bank, how easy it is for me to use a credit card or different banking facilities which my bank is providing. And most of the time the answer to these is, the first interaction or the easiest way is to create a bot who is able to do a lot of things, a lot of functionalities, where these interactions are streamlined and easy to do. And today's example, or the demo which we will see, is also focused on this. And like a bot should be able to do some credit card transactions, some open up a new fixed deposit account for me. If I want to apply for a loan, that bot should be able to have my information and send it my application through. Or if I want to pay my bill, my electricity bill, my water bill, it should be intelligent enough to do it or handle it for me. Or also suggest me some new suggestion that every month you are coming and asking the bot or the bank to pay. Do you want a standing outstanding payment statement which should automatically pay your bill? Or maybe if there was some unforeseen or a fraud detected on your credit card or on your banking, it should be able to alert you, it should be able to give you option that you should be able to block it. So now we will see how all this can be done, and it's easy to say that let's build a bot, that bot should be able to do all these things. Now we will see one example, and there are a lot of technology behind this, because you have to think about how this natural language processing will work, how your speech to text will work, because this bot should be able to understand what my customer is saying. If my customer is typing to me or sending a message, or is he directly speaking to me, or all these things we will see and we will check, and we will work with, and the demo we will see here. So what I'm going to do, I'm not able to share. Let me share my full screen. Just give me 1 second. I was on mute. So right now, what I have built a chatbot using Google's Dialogflow technology. So I will show you what are the different technologies and different products behind this. But first of all, let's try to run it and see what is possible with it. So this what you see right now, it's a test emulator or a simulator, which basically will be similar to when I pick up my phone and say talk to Apigee bank, or talk to this bank or that bank, or get me interacted with my customer service. So let's do that. And hopefully you will be able to hear what my bot is saying. So let me just make it a little bigger, and I'm going to say talk to Apigee Bank.
All right, let's get the test version of Apigee Bank.
Hi, how can I help you today?
So I'm going to say why I am here and what I'm going to do. So let's say I want to go to Dubai. So I could have also spoken it, but I'm just typing it because it will be
I
easier.
missed what you said.
Oh.
Say it again.
Oh, okay. So I want to plan for Dubai.
Before we proceed any further, in order to validate who you are, I'll just need to get your name from Google. Is that okay?
So what's happening here is, even before my bot is going to interact with me or give me access to different secured system or application or services behind, it's going to authenticate and ask me that can I get your information? Okay, are you able to authenticate yourself? If you're not, so what it also means is you can have different services sitting behind. Some can be open for any new customer, who is coming and maybe trying to open an account. You do not want to secure that behind an authenticated resource. Or you can have an actual customer who wants to do some transaction. So all those you want to secure behind. So that is where this different interactions can be controlled. So what I'm going to say is yes.
Hi Harish, welcome back. Where do you want to go?
So now it is able to verify that I am the correct customer, and I'm going to say that I want to go to Dubai. I want to plan for Dubai. So let's say that again.
Hi Harish, welcome back.
Oh.
Where do you want to go?
So demo gods are not with me. I want to travel to Dubai. Hopefully it will work.
Hi Harish, welcome back. Where do you want to go?
So let's see. Now what is happening is, I think something is wrong with my proxy which is running. So let's see what is happening here. So this also gives me an opportunity to see what is happening behind here to my fulfillment. So any bot is useless if there is nothing behind the scenes running and accessing it, or giving it services which it can run and talk to. So that is where Apigee is coming into picture, and Apigee is trying to Apigee is my API management platform, which is giving or connecting my bot to my backend services. So let's see if my travel to Dubai, hopefully it will work. It was working till yesterday. So what is going to happen is it's going to
Hi,
send this
Harish.
request
Welcome back.
anyhow.
Where
So,
do you want to go?
so right now, my request ends up in my Apigee API proxy. And from my proxy, it's able to go and send some data or response back. So every time it is sending it to wrong place. So this response is coming from my backend service. It's not exactly from my chatbot. Or why it is important is I'm able to control different interactions. Like I'm able to send my customer if it's authenticated or not. Or so all these authorization is controlled from Apigee. So Apigee is sitting in front and giving you this control and governance over different services and APIs which you're exposing. So today, plan travel to Dubai. So this is last try. If it doesn't work, I will just directly show you what are the technologies. But you get the idea that this is what is going
Hi,
to happen.
Harish.
Okay.
Welcome back.
So today,
Where do you want to go?
demos are not with demo gods are not happy with me. They are not helping me to show my demo. So anyhow, that's not the important part. The important part is what are the different technologies behind and doing and controlling this interaction. So as you can see, my customer comes in and talks to my bot, but the bot is basically useless if it is not able to connect to my backend services. What are my backend services? So there are a lot of code banking systems, or maybe I am connecting to third party applications like Google Map, or maybe some weather services, or some communication services, or taxi service, hotel service. So all these are external and internal services which I want to provide to customer. But as you can imagine, there are a lot of downstream backend services or systems which I need to interact with, which also brings in a problem that I need to govern it much better. I need to secure it, and I need to control what I am exposing to my outside world, or even the bot, or maybe there will be a web application sitting in front. From there this interaction is happening, or maybe there is some mobile application from where this interaction is happening. So everything needs to be controlled and governed and exposed securely. So that is where your API management layer comes in, and this API management layer is going to give you capabilities of exposing your services in a secure, governed way, and it is going to provide you systems. Let's jump to this part. What is API management and what is API gateway? So a lot of time, as I was saying, over my interactions with customers, what happens is whenever I talk about API management, the first thought comes to people's mind is aren't you talking about API gateway? To be honest, no, because API gateway is basically a subset of a bigger picture of API management itself. So in a typical scenario, API management will give you a basic authentication or authorization, or maybe some kind of mediation policies, or mediation, or some caching you can do. You can do a little bit of traffic management, but that is not what API management is. So whenever you are there and going to choose API management, think of different pillars which any API management platform should support. And if it is not, then there is something missing in a solution which you are selecting. So let's see what are these pillars in an API management. The first thing is a developer management, or the developer interaction which you want to control. Now, what is a developer management is? So whenever you're creating an API or whenever you are exposing an API, the end goal or the end user for your API is not directly the end customer of your organization. What I mean by that, so let's say I am a bank customer. I'm using their mobile application or a chatbot, and I'm talking and interacting with this application which bank has provided. But who is exactly using this API? The APIs are used by the API consumer or the developers who are interacting and consuming and using your APIs. So you need to think about how those developers and API consumers are going to use your APIs. So where are they going to go and see what kind of requests look like, what is the response look like, what kind of authentication you have, what kind of documentation you are providing. Can they get a self-service developer onboarding? Do they need to come and interact with someone and get their questions answered? Is there some easy way to interact with all the APIs which you are providing? What kind of versioning you have? So there, all these things basically comes in as a developer management. For example, let's say if you want to use some Google API, maybe Maps or Google Drive or Photos or whatever API you are trying to use. So you are not directly going to Google and asking that, okay, can you show me this, that, and all. So you go to a developer portal. So where you see what kind of request is, what his response is. So that is where, and then if you want to use it, you want to try it, just see, to send a sample request to a sandboxed environment. So that all these life cycle of a developer management is basic necessity of an API management platform, but it is not required in an API gateway. Now, the next thing which is most important for an API management is analytics. Why this is important is, as I was saying, you might be using a lot of downstream systems or applications where you're connecting. Now you need to and you have to collect a lot of analytics, and you have to collect a lot of metrics so that you know what is your APIs are doing. Is anybody even using your API, or have you released some API which is just giving 404 not found error or some kind of different authentication error, even though customer is sending or the API consumer is sending proper authentication profile to your APIs. So all these different end user analytics or tracing or diagnostic should be part of an API management platform, and it should make it easier so that if you are using some other system to correlate and to do this dashboarding, maybe you are using Grafana or Prometheus as your central system of analytics, it should give you capability to move all this information out of your API management layer and give you option to build this streamlined dashboards and operational monitoring systems. And then while I am talking about operation, any API management platform should also provide you option to automate things. You should not be sitting there and going to a console, or the console which I was showing, or like this, like you should not be coming here and writing stuff here and creating APIs and proxies, and you should not be doing your development here, right? So it should be able to provide you capability of automating things, infrastructure level, API level, and also management of your APIs, what you're exposing, what you don't want to expose, if you want to create a new version. So everything should be controlled with that. And then the third or the fourth pillar, which is also important, is for the API developers within your organization itself. As an API provider, if you should be able to get maybe ID interaction, or it should be able to connect to your ID seamlessly and do provide you an emulator where you can run your proxies or your APIs so that you can see how your APIs are behaving. Now, at the lower end here at the base, you can see some functionalities. It is not, I will go as far as saying that it is not 100% mandatory, but it is a necessity right now for any APIs. Like your API management platform should be able to provide you OSAP threat protection, or maybe DDoS protection, or a WAF layer in front of your APIs, and give you AI ML capabilities so that it can learn from the traffic which is coming in and control and alert you if something wrong is going on, and rather than going and like reactively controlling or protecting. It should be actively protecting your API's ecosystem. And then you should be able to take your API management to wherever your backend services are running. What it means is there should be a capability of doing hybrid deployment. So this means what this means is, um, if you are running your backend services in a public cloud, your API management should be able to run there. If you want to run it as a SaaS service, it should be able to run it as a SaaS service. Or if you have some data residency requirements, or if you cannot take data out of your data centers, so your API management layer should be able to run it on premise near to your federated ecosystem of backend services. Or if I want to run it as a private cloud, I should be able to run it as a private cloud. So these are few functionalities which are absolutely required within an API management layer. So now let's go and see what are few examples of when I was talking about this API layer or the Dialogflow interaction which is happening. So I very quickly want to show you how I built it. It didn't run, but it was running till yesterday. That's a typical demo answer which I can give. So anyhow, so the first interaction, what was happening was I was using this Dialogflow CX. This is a Google's product which is interacting and providing me out of the box services like natural language processing, speech to text to speech, and all those things. And I can do drag and drop and create the whole flow similar to this. Like I can start planning trip. It can book me hotel. It can book me restaurant, or it can book me Uber, or the different kind of weather services. It can provide me everything there. Now then, as I was saying, I have connected it to my backend services. Now let's go and see within this Apigee itself what kind of services or functionalities Apigee is providing me here to make my interaction with my chatbot much more easier. As you can see, by default, Apigee is coming in with a lot of policies. So within Apigee, there is a concept of creating proxies. And in those proxies, you get access to request flow and response flow. And you go and add policies there. So these are the policies which are atomic unit of implementation which you do. So as you can see here, at the first step, I am checking API key, whether my chatbot is actually allowed to make call to this API. So it's going to verify if there is a API key in the request header. You are free to use any other kind of authentication. If you want to do OAuth based authentication or scope based authentication, you can utilize that as well. Then I'm also putting some spike arrest because what I want to do, even though I have a WAF layer in front of my API or Apigee, I'm still adding this spike arrest policies or quota policies within my proxy, because it's always better to have security in depth. So at front layer also, at my Apigee layer also, and also it gives me capability of maybe in future I want to do some monetization of my APIs. In those scenarios also, these spike arrest or quota policies will help me to maintain a different service tier which I want to provide, maybe gold, silver, or diamond, based on that how many requests somebody can make. Now then there is another policy, as an example I want to show you here, is parsing Dialogflow request. So Dialogflow talks in a particular way. It will make a request in a particular way. So it will send you a data, and there are a lot of elements within that request there. So if I wanted and to parse that request manually, there will be a lot of effort required. Maybe I have to go through that parsing of the whole JSON request which is coming in, then get some data out of it. But as you can see, what Apigee is doing here is it is providing me an out-of-box policy which will give me access to all the elements within that request itself, and then I can do different stuff like add users, do some interaction to any other services, maybe do some service call out, do some orchestration or hub spoke kind of implementation, and then implement my business logic, and then I can very simply use another policy which is just sending my response back to the caller or the Dialogflow in a particular format in which it expects it. So as you can see, it is providing a lot of Apigee is providing a lot of different policies. And just as an example, I want to show you, there are a lot of them. Out of the box, we support traffic management or security, OAuth, JWT tokens, or you want to pass JSON to XML. Maybe you want to expose some SOAP service which is behind, like legacy services, which is behind Apigee. So Apigee can talk JSON to your caller and in a SOAP format to your backend services. You can have monetization limit checks, and then if in a scenario where some kind of policy is not enough for you, you are able to create some extensions. You can write some Java code, or you can write some JavaScript code or Python or different kind of languages we support. And if at all you don't like all that, you can anytime go to use Google's Cloud Functions, which is our serverless implementation, and you can call Cloud Functions from Apigee itself. So because Apigee is able to run within the scope of Google Cloud, it is able to connect to any services within Google Cloud in a seamless RFC 1918 IP address space. And from there, it is able to use service accounts or the identity which Google Cloud use to natively connect to different services within Google Cloud itself. So you have capability of doing that as well. And at the end, I already showed parsing Dialogflow and setting Dialogflow response. So this is few things which you can do. Not only that, within Apigee itself, you have capability of creating developer programs, like creating developer portals where your developers can come in and interact with you. You can have monetization. You can create portals here for your APIs. You can bundle them in different products. So we think of APIs as a bundled product where you can connect them and use them because you can have different proxies. So this is where thinking about outside in approach comes in, because you may have different services which you have created as a proxy and a service. But think of how a caller or the API consumer is going to come in and call and make, because he might be coming from a mobile service, or he may using as a whole journey of user interaction is happening with that. So you can create different products, and where you can combine different proxies and control the scope of that proxy itself. Maybe you just want to expose some read APIs on. There should not be any post or put or anything else on delete. So you can control what kind of APIs you are exposing. So let's go to this API bank product. So as you can see, I am by default exposing everything. You can control. So let's me go and click here. If I add an operation, so here you can see I can control the methods which I want to expose, or the path within my proxy itself which I want to expose. So you have a lot of freedom of using this. Now, as we are coming to the end, so I will go back to this. So now the main point is, how do you get access to everything, and is there some free access available where you can go and try it out? So whatever I was doing, so Dialogflow also has some free evaluation where you can go and try it out, and similar to that, Apigee also provides easy access eval environment where you can provision, if you have a GCP project, with the if you go to Google Cloud and create a free account, Google Cloud will give you $300 of credit, which you can use and to create an Apigee Eval environment. So what it means basically is, we will provide you a free Apigee organization similar to this. It will be an eval environment. It will be valid for 60 days, and you can you can basically try everything out. So you want to create a proxy, you want to connect to some Google Cloud services, or if you want to try out integration. So integration is where we have this connector kind of thinking, where maybe you have Salesforce running, you want to connect to Salesforce, but you do not want to talk to Salesforce in Salesforce way, right? So because it talks in different way. So we provide connectors for this. Let me show you one example. Okay, let's see this. So connectors are the concept of an iPaaS solution. What it gives is, this connector is directly going to connect to any service, and it is going to abstract away necessity of talking and converting information and what you can do, you can just configure it, give, okay, this is my endpoint or my Salesforce domain, this is my authentication profile, use this information, go and capture any CDC change which is happening on Salesforce. Or it could be your send this data to my SQL server, or send this data to my PubSub implementation. So you can try this integration in Google Apigee's Eval environment. You can activate it and see how these integrations also work. And you will also be able to create portals or API products, or create some reports, API monitoring. You want to see how your timeline is working, what kind of metrics you can do. And you can want to create some custom reports. You will be able to get some instances where Apigee is running highly available within Apigee scope also. Or if you want to take it to multi-region, you will be able to do those things also and try it out. So, and then if you're not a fan of a UI based creation, or you want to get your hands dirty and do some command line provisioning, or do some Terraform modules, so we have all the availability of different services which are available, which you can use and utilize to build all these things and do a similar kind of implementation or a demo, which I did, which didn't work, but essentially you can create something like this and try it out, and call your Apigee or API management platform, and interact with your backend services, provide and send response back to your Dialogflow implementation or your chatbot. So yes, I think I'm just going to give it a last try and see if it works. If it doesn't, we will close the session. Let's see. So I am almost at the end. So okay, so let's give it a last try. Hopefully it will work. If it doesn't, we are going to close the session, right? Cool.
All right, getting the test version of Apigee Bank.
Hi, how can I help you today?
I want to go to Dubai. It's not able to understand me.
Nice. Here are some options from
yay.
Google Flights, your usual booking site. Option 1, Onward, Emirates Airline on the 28th of June midnight, return on the 30th of June morning. Option 2, Onward, British Airlines on the 28th of June night, return on the 30th of June.
So as you can see here, what it did, it went to my Apigee's API management layer, and from there it went to my backend service, and backend service gave me options that I have two options of going from Emirates Airlines or maybe British Airlines on these dates, and then I can come back. And then I'm going to see option 1. Let's see if it books me. Option 1.
Can you say that again?
First.
Sorry, could you say that again?
Let's try again. I want to go to Dubai. Please take me to Dubai. I think it knows that I am in
Nice.
UK right
Here
now.
are some options from Google Flights, your usual booking site. Option 1, onward, Emirates Airline on the 28th of June midnight, return on the 30th of June morning. Option 2, onward, British Airlines on the 28th of June night, return on the 30th of June. Okay, here's your
Okay.
itinerary. The total cost comes to 150,000 Indian rupees. Should I book it?
Yes.
Awesome, I'll get that booked. Should we move on to hotels now?
Okay, so here you can see that it is able to detect that I'm going somewhere and I need flight booking, I need
You
hotel
seem to
booking.
frequent Hyatt group of hotels.
And it
Do you
also-
want to book Grand Hyatt, Dubai from hotels.com? It's
So-
6 kilometers from your workplace and the cost comes up to 500 British pounds per night inclusive of breakfast. The total amounts to 1,000 British pounds for 2 days.
So it's able to detect that and get my journey history previously, that I stay in Hyatt a lot. So it's able to give me an option. So I'm just going to say yes.
Done. Also, enjoy free refreshments on us when you arrive at the hotel. Okay, let's move on. Do you want me to schedule an Uber pickup for you to get to the Heathrow International Airport?
So now it's also suggesting me that first it gave me a free refreshment option because good customer service, and it also provided me an option to go from my home to Heathrow Airport so that I can take my flight. I'm just going to say yes again, and it's going to book an Uber pickup for me.
Great. Also, since you're a foodie, enjoy 20% off when you use your Apigee bank card at Domino's Pizza and McDonald's at the airport departures area. Okay, now let's move on to the final step. We recommend that you take the Dubai Metro to get to the city. Do you want me to pre-order an Dubai Metro Knoll card so that you can pick it up?
Yes. So as you can see, I'm not going to go through the whole thing.
Awesome, it's all done. I have sent you a mail with details about the whole trip. Finally, just before you go, make sure to pack some summer cloths as it might get hot in Dubai. Have a safe trip, and if you need any assistance, you know how to reach me. Bye.
Okay, so you saw the whole interaction, and finally demo gods were happy to me. So I was able to show you the whole end-to-end flow. So we already saw the whole interaction, how it works and how it can be controlled. So I think we are at the end of this session. Please have a look at Apigee's provisioning wizard, or look at Dialogflow, and then try to build this whole end-to-end flow by yourself also. So I wish you all a very good luck, and thank you for joining this session. And it was really nice to speak to everyone, and hope to see you again soon.